The way in which we previously operated in businesses was just via paperwork and filing cabinets. So you would have documents that you would, create and update and maintain, and then they would be stored in various filing cabinets in buildings, etc. And essentially what happened over the last 20 years or so is these just became online databases that essentially were stored offsite, which is interesting. So typically, filing cabinets would have been stored at your offices if you were a company. But when we went to databases, we initially started to store them also on site. But a lot of us started to move into the cloud, and so we started to store them at other people's warehouses. So that's something to note. Back then, if you wanted to update something, you would have to look through, this room that's just full of these filing cabinets, both ways, all the way down the hall, and you'd be seeing them all, and you'd just be walking through there, looking for the right cabinet, the right door with your right file. It was like a whole thing. And when we added software, that added the ability to basically have a search bar. And so we could just type in whatever we wanted in the search bar and we could find it instead of having to walk through all these aisles of files. So that's a cool thing that software did. Then, what people will do with these files is, you'll look at several of them and you'll look and you'll analyze them and you'll pull new insights that have emerged, and you might put that into a new document, whether that's a summary or an abstract or a memo. This is how companies run, is the analysis of paperwork, ideas, and the presentation of them in different ways. That's the entire fundamental way business works and communication works. And in our current world, that's what we've got our current AI doing. It's able to look at these databases that are present within software, and it's able to analyze these and give you AI insights. Give you a little brain there. It'll give you AI insights that it'll output into a document or whatever format that you want it to be. So that's essentially the gist of it. And then when you come to CLMs, which is our technology, what we do, CLMs exist beyond this scope. So CLMs exist in terms of, we've talked about files and file management and how files are updated, but we haven't talked about any of the people in the organization. So there's always people that are communicating with each other and making decisions along the way, and that's how organizations run. And so what enables them to make good decisions? All of these juncture points. That is what we focus on with CLM. So we focus on being able to look at all of these insights that are gathered here and position them for these people in a real-time, updated way that, it's customized for them, for their business. So that's the biggest thing a CLM does. It's different than general AI. It's not just, general AI insights based on what software and what database you're in, but it's about looking between the gaps and handling that. So just to give you that a little bit more visually, there is no centralized intelligence in businesses. So people will have various softwares that are scattered all over the place, but the truth is they have to log into one software, then log into the next software, then log into the next, and log into the next, and check every single one, pull insights out, move them all into documents somewhere else, and they do analysis there. And then once they do that, they'll actually have to put those back in to new softwares independently, and that is a painful process. So what we believe in is centralizing your intelligence, and that's where a CLM comes in. So a CLM sits in between all of these different nodes, and all of them help to fuel information, but the CLM itself has its own engine, it has its own brain. So the CLM is prioritized based on how the business works. So it knows, priority 1 maybe is growth, and priority 2 is service, and 3 is ops, and 4 is decision making. And the CLM is able to look at everything that's happening and then give you real-time information that is through the lens of your actual priorities and needs, that's actionable and actionable in the sense of you click one button at each of these endpoints and it completes the action that it's assessed the data and analyzed that is relevant. So for example, if revenue is changing and your system say so, it can actually come through and say, hey, we need to add XYZ into the strategy, thumbs up, thumbs down. If you're doing legal work, for example, and you need to have a process where you can easily scan thousands and thousands of documents of case law, you can add in a module that looks at whatever documents you upload and it references them against all of these different databases, for example, and helps you identify the relevant cases that you should observe. Significant time savings are possible when you centralize your operations. So that's the value there, and it's really just limited to your imagination. So I'll show you a few different use cases so you can get some context of how CLMs have been used by others. These are all, in my view, very simple use cases. So these are just base levels of customization, but here is a fundraising chatbot. So this is a chatbot that you could DM and it would explain the company and its offerings and the team and every single bit of information that was in the knowledge base. So that was a tool that was able to be a part of dozens of investor conversations, which was cool. This is a lead gen tool automation. So this searches online in real time based on who is talking about certain topics, and whenever somebody publishes content to the internet based on certain topics, it would actually go into the CRM and create a lead ready for anybody to reach out to. So this is Notion, the CRM, in which that one was placing data. And so I mentioned earlier that the CLM solutions exist in between softwares. This, for example, is within an app called Telegram. So the CLM is able to integrate and interface with really anything that would exist within a business. And that's what's really cool here. Our team provides development support to be able to enable this to happen. Here's another example. This is an intake chat. So this is where you would actually go through a proposal process for a service-based business, and it would just basically do automated proposals. So this is a conversation where the client's actually having a full conversation and sharing their goals and their desires and what their challenges are and about their brand. All of that information is not only being intaken and stored into the database for that client that this agency has, but the client is getting a real-time quote and model and growth plan that they can say yes to on the spot. So that is a significant advantage on the sales side. And then here is actually a computer vision model that did automatic content creation. So this went and logged in to a WordPress site, and it wrote blog posts, and it wrote really great blog posts that were able to dramatically grow the traffic week over week. So pretty simple in my view solutions, but you can see that these are solutions that are not possible with AI in the current state that it is outside of the CLM model, because it can't work in between the softwares. Current AI is siloed to any particular software, and a CLM, because it exists somewhere else, can work in between the lines, and it can decide to go back down any path if it wants to add data or update data or change data, but it also can go in between them, and that's where the magic happens. So here's a couple visuals, a couple examples that I just wanted to put in front of everyone so you could just get a sense of some ideas. This is the legal example I gave of just putting in some information. You could upload a PDF into an app, for example, into a web portal, and you could get right back exactly what opinions you should be looking at, results of past cases, percentages of overlap, so you can look at things. On the medical side, you could be seeing a patient and not just get their base patient data and be able to look back at the previous files and stuff, but be able to get a real-time overlay of, for example, potential diagnoses with likelihoods. You could have, visualizations of what's going on with them. You could have visualizations of symptoms or conditions. You could do some pretty amazing things with a CLM and with AI enablement.